Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we will begin the third lecture on vaccination. So first we will cover one of the most important yet confusing concepts, which is immunity versus immunization or versus vaccination. So students generally get confused between these three terms. So first we will talk about immunity. Okay. So first we'll talk about immunity. So what is immunity? So immunity basically refers to the ability of the body to resist infection. Okay, so in simple terms it means the ability of the body to resist the recurrence of the infection. Okay, so number 2, immunization. So what does this mean? So it means, or it refers to the process of developing immunity. Okay, so one is the ability of the body to develop to resist infection, and the other is just simply the process of it. So what is the third step, third term, which is vaccination? Okay, so what is vaccination? So it means, specifically means, administering a vaccine, administering a vaccine to stimulate immunity. Okay, so we can say vaccination leads to immunization. Okay, vaccination leads to immunization, which results in immunity. So this is the broader sense. Okay, so then we move a bit with types of immunity. So first type of immunity that we have is called as the innate immunity. Okay, so what does innate immunity mean? It is present from the time of birth. Okay, this is very important. So it is present from the time of birth and it acts immediately. So type of immunity which is present from the time of birth and which can act immediately is called as the innate immunity. Okay, so now we will give one example. Suppose the examples are skin, mucus, phagocytic cells, inflammation. Okay, so here this type of immunity is non-specific. That is, it does not act against any particular antigen, it acts against all types of antigen, so it is non-specific. Okay, so next type of immunity that we have is called as the adaptive immunity. Okay, so what does adaptive immunity mean? So it develops after exposure to antigens. Okay, so this type of immunity is highly specific. because it is specific for specific antigens. Okay, so the components are B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, antibodies, memory cells. So vaccines mainly work, this is very important, vaccines mainly work by stimulating this adaptive immunity. So vaccines are not involved in innate immunity, vaccines are mainly involved in adaptive immunity. Okay, so next we come to something called as the immunological memory. Sorry. Okay, so this is one of the most important concepts in vaccinology. Okay, so one of most important concept in vaccinology or vaccine technology. Okay, so when the immune system, what happens here, when the immune system encounters any antigen for the first time, encounters any antigen for the first time, then what happens? First is the response is slow. Okay, antibody production takes time, and third, symptoms may develop. So however, on exposure, what happens? Memory B cells and T cells remain in the body, and future responses become faster and stronger. So it means then when an antigen is entering your body for the first time, this memory is remembered. Okay, this memory is kept, and when that similar antigen, or when that same antigen is entering your body for the second time, okay, is entering your body from the second time, this memory is recollected, and those B's or antibodies, or the immune response that took place on the first encounter, those are triggered, and second time you don't get any disease. Okay, this is the simple funda behind this. So this is called as a secondary immune response. So this is called as the secondary immune response. So vaccines mainly exploit this natural phenomenon. Okay, vaccines mainly exploit this natural phenomenon. Why? Because what you are doing is, with vaccines you are introducing your antigens within the body, even if that antigens have not even if your body has not encountered those antigens. Okay, so you are incorporating live or attenuated antigens within your body. Why? To stimulate memory, so that when actual antigens enter, your body can produce the antibodies or then immune response. So you don't have to wait, okay, for the first encounter. So you are introducing your antigens, okay, live or attenuated antigens in the form of vaccines, and your body is recognizing every pattern, producing the immune response and the antibodies. Next, when you are actually getting infected with the same antigen or the similar antigen, your body can recollect that memory and produce a wave of antibodies or wave of immune response. Okay, so now we come to the importance of vaccines. Okay, so if we come here, importance of vaccines. Okay, so we know vaccines provide both individual protection as well as community protection. Okay, why individual, community? Because when you are getting vaccinated, you are safe from the antigen, and also you do not spread it, so the community is also safe. Okay, so the benefits include prevent infectious diseases, then reduce mortality, then reduce hospitalization. Okay, so prevent epidemics, protect immunocompromised, that is those patients or those people who are having a weakened immune system, immunocompromised individuals, reduce healthcare burden. Okay, so some successful vaccines for diseases like polio, measles, diphtheria, tetanus, hepatitis B. Okay, smallpox has been completely eradicated with the help of vaccination. Eradicated from the world. Okay, so these are the importance of vaccine. So we come to the last part, which is the challenges associated in vaccination. So like vaccine hesitancy, Okay, vaccine hesitancy, like many people hesitate a little to take vaccines. Then is the cold chain maintenance. So if you have to use vaccines, you require longer storage. That is a problem for a long period of time. Then viral mutations. Okay, just as happened in SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so you are designing your vaccines against particular strain of the virus is getting mutated. Okay, so then your vaccination doesn't hold against that new strain of that virus. So number 4 is unequal distribution. So if you are designing a vaccine against a particular disease, some parts of the country will have more vaccines distributed, some part will be have less distributed. And number 5 is public misinformation. So there could be myth associated with a particular vaccine. Okay, so these are some of the challenges in vaccination. One important concept here comes is herd immunity. So you all might have heard during COVID wave. So what is herd immunity? So it is basically what happens is when a large proportion of a population becomes immune to then disease transmission decreases. Okay, so this phenomenon is called as the herd immunity. So then what happens, even unvaccinated, okay, so even unvaccinated individuals gain direct protection because the pathogen cannot spread effectively. Okay, so herd immunity is extremely important for whom? Infants. Okay, because they have a very weak immune system. Elderly people, again, they have very weak immune system, and immunocompromised patients. Okay, that's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more videos on vaccination.